Hello everyone, my name is Zach Reminer, and I used to do music tutorials like these quite a while ago, probably before I ended college, or probably before I even started college, to be honest. But now that I have more free time, I'd like to go back to it. Quick question, do you want to make a sound like this? Yes? Yeah, then follow along. If not, you can still watch the tutorial if you want to see how I layer things, but it might not be that useful to you. So to begin with, I want to go over the lead elements before we go over the rhythmic elements. So let's just go over the lead elements to begin with. We've got a piano, first guitar, second guitar, and a serum preset, which is about 2 octaves above the guitar. They're all playing the same melody, but it's worth noting that the piano plays it in 2 different octaves at the same time at the same velocity, while the two guitars, all of them play the same melody at different octaves, but the only difference is that this guitar, this thirds guitar, is playing the thirds of the melody above the guitar within the same octave. It's confusing, I'll explain it in a second. This is the piano. Sounds pretty cool. It's just going to be layered over by itself initially, so it's going to be the only lead element to play at this first part. Before these other elements are introduced. But let's go over those other elements now. This is the guitar. Why is it bit crushed? I thought I got rid of this bit crusher. Whatever. Sounds pretty cool. But then if I skip a note in the scale, so you see how there is a note in between these in the scale that I'm just skipping, it sounds like this. By itself, it doesn't sound very good. But if we layer the two, sounds pretty cool. Now, you'll notice that the synth here is playing the exact same melody as the lead guitar, just about 3 octaves up. And that's how my lead layering works. Obviously, there's a different part here that has a new guitar. But that's exclusively for those cut-ins, and they don't play the same melody. And so now we can move on to rhythmic elements. This is the main element. This is what got me to start the song. I made this piano melody. Sounds pretty cool. Then I just added the bass notes as a bass. And then I added a guitar that plays the same chord progression, just not these different harmonic notes that play in between that aren't within the actual chords. Let me just do this. You can hear that the piano is still substantially louder than the guitar, because it has more pop to it. The way that obviously the guitar works is by plucking a string, but with a piano, it's hammers hitting strings inside the piano that creates that noise, which gives them more of a powerful feel whenever a note is played versus when a guitar is played, even when amplified, because I'm deliberately keeping that amplified guitar below the level of the piano so that the piano stands out. Now, you'll notice that these two melodies here look pretty identical. It is exactly the same melody, just copied to a different instrument on a different track. So, this is the piano. I copy and pasted this directly into the Toho sound font. Now, on a very specific preset that I think really helps to add sound, and that's the string orchestra preset. Does it sound realistic? Absolutely not. That's not what the intention of this is. The Toho sound font is quite old, and I believe it's made off of an older synth trying to replicate analog instruments, which is why it sounds off. But it still sounds good, by the way. You can still make good music with the Toho sound font. I specifically, though, use this, knowing it's not that realistic, to add some more unique frequencies to it. It adds a lot more body to the song. Let me show you what the song sounds like without any of the extra stuff. It sounds good. It just sounds like it's still building up and needs to get somewhere. Where if I add the Toho sound on it, that's nice. I like that. Can we push that a bit further? Yes. Copy and paste the same melody again into a choir. Now you'll notice that this choir is missing a few different things, a few different notes in between, like small notes. But the reason for that is just because the choir wouldn't have time to play those anyways. You see, in music, there are 4 different envelopes you need to know: attack, decay, sustain, and release. I can't remember what decay does at the moment. I'll probably say it afterwards or edit it in. So I removed the smaller notes because you wouldn't have heard them anyways in the final thing. So I just saved like a memory byte or two. But this is what it sounds like. This is the Lacrimosa Pro Choir from 8DO. Just gonna play that one more time. So now what happens if we layer that with it? That sounds very good. It doesn't add as much as the Toho sound font, which is why I think you should go get the Toho sound font. It's completely free. FL Studio's sound font runner is completely free. There's probably another VST that runs sound fonts if you're not using FL Studio, or there's probably one built into your DAW. I think it's so good for layering because it's just got these flat frequencies which really help build into it. There are these two which I'll go over in just a second, but first I want to address the drums. Empty Power Drum Kit is what I'm using for the kick and snare here. I've got 2 different instances of it on 2 different mixers so that I can program them differently. You see 6 and 7 are the kick and the snare respectively. So here's what they sound like alone. I'm just going to mute the cymbal. They sound pretty good. They work well. Its cymbals are really, really good. So I'm just going to play those cymbals for you now. And it adds a lot of space to the song. Like, it adds a lot of continuous volume throughout the song. There is also this sweep down here, which adds a bit, but it less important than like pretty much every other element here, because though it helps add impacts when you are starting an intense section, it won't carry that throughout the entirety of the rest of the section. For the continuous white noise, you want something like the cymbals. Now let's address these two over here. I won't address the violin because this is just something I like to do to add emphasis to when a new part is starting. Let's address these two parts. This is a free staccato strings, which you can find in FL Studio in the essential string section, and all strings staccato. So that's pretty important. I feel like it just adds more to the impact of the piano than anything else. I don't think it's actually doing a lot by itself. I just kind of think it works. Now this one is probably the least important of them, so you could completely skip this step, considering this is at such a low volume that I really don't think it matters that much. I just wanted to add an arpeggio for texture. This is Serum 2's Dafttronic from Dafttronic from the ARPS section in the factory. I just kind of liked how the sound, so I took it. But yeah, if you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing. It would really help me out a lot. I'm trying to build up my YouTube channel again after abandoning it for like 2 years straight. Well, I did do like semi-infrequent uploads, but they were just so inconsistent, and it was not some of the best music I made. So also, I would like to address something. Thank you so much for the support on the S-Universe videos, the ones which I released for the Dokkan mod. I had so much fun making those, and I'm so glad that multiple of them got, like, well over 1,000 views. We had one at 1.5, one at 1.6, I think we got one at 1.7, or the leading one is 1.6, and 500 on the least popular of the four. That's still a lot for me. I don't get 500 every video, otherwise I would be, like, significantly less impressed, but I'm so impressed with the reception on those videos. I'm so glad. I hope you know that I've got more in store in terms of modded Dokkan mods that I'm going to be on, so I hope you look out for those. They'll be releasing on probably about the same platforms. If you look in the description of the S-Universe videos, you'll see links taking you directly to the channel in the Discord, which they're found in. And those will be the download links for Infinity and Eclipse, and there might be Sparking, and I don't know if I've put Sparking in the descriptions or not. If I haven't, I will put a description update where you can find them in Sparking, or if not, you can probably just download them on Eclipse or Infinity if you want. Also, if you'd like to support me even further, can you check out the releases tab on my YouTube channel? That's where I put out music on Spotify and YouTube Music and Plus and such. So if you want to take a look at those, that would be really appreciated. I recently put out Prison Gates Open Slowly, which is a more experimental song. It was just piano rather than anything to do with metal guitar. But I guarantee this one will probably be my next release. I think this song is very good, and I can't wait to actually get it completely done. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a brilliant day, and keep being happy with what you create.